Hello, everybody. It's Monday, a magnificent Monday. The Premier League, boys.
Yeah.
It's back.
It's back.
It's back, baby.
It started on Friday. And ruined my weekend.
I had plans.
I had plans. I had
Yeah.
things to do, for crying out
And
loud.
they kept showing the football on my 3 different subscriptions and totally ruined my social capacity.
Well, you've still got a match tonight.
We do.
This round of the
Yes,
Premier
that's
League
correct,
hasn't
yeah.
actually finished,
No.
but Vish, your team, Manchester United, no goals. Peter, your team, Newcastle United, no goals. My team, Fulham, just got a goal right at the end.
Good.
1 goal between 3.
A salve. Can we share it around?
No,
No.
that
Okay,
point is for
fine.
me and my boy. Although Newcastle got a point.
We could King Solomon it. We should. I'll say let's cut it in half.
Yes.
And then whoever doesn't
Who
want me to
wants
do that,
win the
they're
most?
the
Who
real
wants
mother.
The point the most, correct, yes.
That all makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, the Premier League, of course, is back for another season. As always, at the Football Ramble, we'll be here to guide you through all the highs and lows and notable mad shite that the Barclays has to offer. If you enjoy the Ramble and would like to support the show, we would absolutely love it if you could leave us a 5-star review. If you think it's a 4-star show, lie. Give us 5 stars. Wherever you listen to your podcast, do that, please. That will help us bring the Ramble to even more people. And who doesn't want that? It's a conversation starter. It's a high five producer. So just a quick 5-star review is all you need. Thank you very much. And here's to another season of rambling, everybody.
Yeah.
And to mark the occasion, we're starting with Sunderland. I'll tell you something.
It's a new toy to play with.
It is, Peter. One for all of the North East to enjoy.
Yeah, I think so. I've said Sunderland should be a strong team. They've won the league title so many times in their history.
So
Not
many times.
recently.
Yeah, you've said other things.
You said other things, yeah. About the town generally.
And you're right to say that. You know that is your prerogative.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They are expressly your opinions, but you're right to say that.
But you're using this as a platform.
They're second in the table, and you cannot deny that.
I keep asking people everybody who works here and is connected with here, why do we keep giving Pete a platform when it comes to Sunderland? I mean, look, it's been a long while since Sunderland have. One of their games has been in the Premier League has been dissected on this show. I don't know how long it's been when we open with them.
No,
for a
exactly.
positive result. My goodness, they beat West Ham United 3-0, of course.
Perfect team to play at this point in the season.
But that was the thing.
Say.
You're right, Peter. We were saying on Friday, I was saying that this is a great opening fixture for both sides potentially.
Yes, yeah.
And whoever wins, if one team is to win well, it's going to be, if West Ham, say, won 3-0, which seems a laughable suggestion now, of course, then Sunderland are going to be like, oof, right, okay, yeah, back in the big league, okay. But if West Ham get hammered, which, no pun intended, then that's a really damning result. But let's focus on Sunderland for the moment. All 3 scorers played for Sunderland in the Championship last season, which is lovely.
The finishes, I suppose. The build-up was very much about some of the new signings as well.
Well, all 3 assists were from new signings.
So it's perfect stuff for the manager there. 8 players made their Sunderland debuts in this game. Well, 7 started, Vish. Was that right?
Yeah, 7 from the start as well.
Yeah, which, you think, are they going to gel? But when Pete Donaldson, those people, the good people of the North East, fill that stadium and it's bouncing and rocking and...
Best support in the league. It has to be said. Best support in possibly the entire 72 below it as well. So.
Already a little dig at Newcastle.
I'm not
Wow.
saying. I mean, listen, I will stick by my guns and say that they're still going to go down at the end of the season. This feels very much like... You were talking about Mortal Kombat before we started. This is like the start... like the ladder of Mortal Kombat when you start and you're fighting all the easy characters.
Yeah.
Once you get up to Liu Kang and stuff... like
is the Championship's Scorpio?
Yes,
Scorpio at the end, and
just
get over here, pulls them back down.
Raid and all the slightly lame characters.
Was in this case was West Ham Kramer?
Yeah,
Kramer. Like sometimes they just put in characters from other shows.
When he was fighting himself.
Yeah, and it's like, it's Kramer from Seinfeld. Yeah,
yeah.
I'd like to see that.
Well, I'm intrigued that you've gone on an enormous charm offensive, saying they have the best support in professional.
They do. Away and home. They do have the best support.
You've just stunned me with that. Sunderland fans drink that in because Peter's a man.
Big Tifo. They brought the big Tifo.
What about that Tifo, Vish? Did you see it with the? Was it a knight spearing a dragon?
Oh, that one. Yes, yeah.
Marcus.
Oh, that one.
Marcus, you Surrey bastard.
What?
That was the Lambton fucking worm. Show some respect.
Yeah.
Of course it was.
The Lambton. Are you familiar with the Lambton worm story?
Yeah, but tell people who don't know.
Like me.
and me.
Right. Lampton, some little lad, right?
Why did you call me a Surrey pal?
Because you don't respect our folktales.
Yeah, sorry, Marcus has been ridiculous. Go on, Pete. Tell us about the mythical worm.
Little boy, he finds a salamander in the River Wear.
Not a worm. Go on.
He's only chucked it down the well, hasn't
Oh, no.
he? He goes to fuck off for fighting the Crusades.
Right.
And comes back. This bloody salamander has taken over his entire estate,
Well, he's
his
gonna have to
entire manor.
He's going to have to sort it
He's
out.
going to have to slay it, isn't he? He's going to have to slay it.
Right.
And so before he starts to slay, he talks to an owl witch. And this witch tells him that after he slayed the lambton worm...
Did you say owl witch?
An owl.
Oh, an owl witch. I
an
thought it was
an
like...
old witch.
Wait, she's owl witch. She
An
is.
old witch. She talks to an old witch, and the
Right.
witch says, "You've got to slay the first living thing you see after you've killed the lambton worm, or therefore, bad luck
Yeah,
will
we're in
befall
trouble.
you." So he briefs his dad. He said, "Dad, as soon as I kill this fucking worm,
Right.
can you
We're out of here."
release the dog that I've got, and I'm going to kill my dog," which is tragic. The
Don't
dad
worry,
is,
Vish, it's all made up.
he
Don't
kills
worry.
the salamander / worm / whatever it is,
Right.
not a dragon, and then he. And then his dad gets so excited, he runs out and celebrates with his son. And his son goes, "You idiot! You forgot to release the dog. I'll have to kill you now." And he kills his dad. And the moral of the story is, don't skip church to go and fishing in the weir.
Right. So why are they called the Black Cats?
And why is
I don't know. I don't know why they didn't make a black cat T4. I believe they did last season. Maybe it was in the wash.
Why is this a celebrated story about a man who killed his dad?
Well, I'm going to have to do it now.
What?
I mean, he
Oh, yeah.
sided. He
He
sided
sided with the witch.
With the witch over his.
You've
dad.
got. You just have to trust the voodoo.
Having fought in the Crusades, where is his moral compass? Where is his faith?
He's got a thirst for it, clearly.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well.
so it wasn't a dragon. It was the lambton
Sorry.
worm. Show some fucking respect.
Yeah. I apologise to all
Okay.
of
the worms.
Well, I would say the whole population.
So there you go, Sunderland. Right?
What did he tell his mum?
Goodness
Where's
gracious,
dad?
goodness
Well,
me.
you're not gonna believe this.
Killed him,
Yeah.
haven't they? Yeah.
He didn't release.
Is it T4 when it's suspended from the roof?
Yeah, why not?
Because like it's a big T4, and obviously you've had the stadium help to get that up there. Can you not? I think T4 should be on the crowd only.
I think, to be fair, when we look at things that Sunderland have done recently at the home ground, which includes turning one of their own bars into a shrine to anti-Sunderland propaganda on behalf of Newcastle fans
Yes.
playing there in a cup game, if they're going to help out with the TIFO, let them.
Let them
This is a new era where Sunderland aren't
Yeah.
shooting themselves in the foot. That, that should only be celebrated.
It was
Yes,
it was a weird football match, Marcus, wasn't it?
Right,
Because
right.
look, West Ham controlled the centre of the park. They seemed to be in control of the game, but
For
Sunderland,
a particular period of time.
well, for good chunky periods of the match, but they just couldn't see off. Like Callum Wilson came on and was just knocking people over.
Are you Graham Potter's PR agent?
I'm just saying that West Ham looked okay
First
for
half,
periods.
they looked all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
and
think they were.
completely toothless.
I think they were allowed to do that because I think what Sunderland have done quite well, not necessarily by accident, but they've obviously had this plan in pre-season that they're going to play exactly how they played in the Championship for large parts of it, but upgrade their players and bring in a replacement, say, for Joe Bellingham, because they're just a counter-attacking side.
Yeah.
And it does make you think, actually, they're better suited to playing well in the Premier League, not necessarily staying up, but they're better suited to playing well in the Premier League because they don't need the ball as much as, say, a Burnley have used the ball previously in getting promoted. So, you look at the way that they, I don't know, just went at West Ham. Oh, there were definitely patches when it was like, is Jared Bowen going to win this on his own? Like, he looked brilliant as ever. But they just kept coming at them in waves. And it felt like an inevitability by the end.
The thing is with West Ham, though, the really worrying thing for them is that Bowen's the player, so you double up on him, make it really, really difficult. And they defended well. And that was that. And they knew that in that second half, the breaks were going to come. The crowd were up. As I say, perfect fixture for them because what they want is they want a team that they think, we can beat these.
You want a name as well, don't you? And West Ham
exactly.
is a name.
Perfect fixture at home as well. As we mentioned, the crowd were it was great atmosphere there by all accounts. And Mayenda, great from his point of view, a brilliant header. The goalkeeper was
The goalkeeping was poor. In this.
Well, that's it.
The opening chance for the West Ham goalkeeper was he did really well. Everything after that was just atrocious.
Even then, I thought Diarra should have perhaps showed a bit more composure in that. But again, like that was a great sign
Yes.
of Diarra, their record signing, who they got him for like 30 million from Strasbourg, coming in and looking completely at home, being quite a big driver through the middle, doing what I suppose Joe Bellingham used to do. But I thought he should have shown a bit more composure there, and he gave him a save to make.
Yeah. There'll be plenty more to talk about West Ham, and I think this is the real discovery season for Graham Potter, whether he's a decent manager or not, as we've all said pretty much every week of last season. But it looks like the only creative spark is going to be coming from Paqueta, and even at his best, he slows the game down way too much for me.
He looked way off the pace. I mean, the first goal goes in, and keeper's position, I don't know, but from Sunderland's point of view, lovely one. The second one, it's exactly the type of goal you want. Big Dan Ballard, they're like a Big Dan in the northeast at the moment, crashes it in. But it was Paqueta marking him.
Yeah.
I think, or he was certainly near.
Yeah, but
And he just drifted away.
it'd been recycled, hadn't it? And
Fine.
like Ballard stayed up.
But the tails are up, beautiful ball in. And that's, when a header like that is powered in, the game's over then. The manner of the goal, and again, the crowd are up. It just destroyed West Ham. I know the goalkeeper, Roofs produced a great save up the other end, but the tails are up. And then even the last goal with Isidore scoring, he probably doesn't try that if they're only 1-0 up.
Yeah.
I know it's a different phase of, 1-0, 2-0, it does make a difference. But again, though, damning for West Ham is one of their biggest signings is the goalkeeper. Old
Who
Mads
is
from
trash.
Yeah, from Potter really wanted him. That was a player that they scouted and really, really wanted. It's early days. You may well hear a lot of people say it's early days for a bit,
but you need to win points against Sunderland.
You do,
where you are where you'll end up finishing in the table.
Yes, and the goalkeeper, as I say, the one signing that they made, you think, okay, maybe there's an improvement. That third goal, he should save it.
Yeah.
It's a big error. So not only do you have the defeat, and it's a heavy defeat, you then have that as well. To me, I mean, I know Potter said, it was a good away performance in the first half. Okay.
I don't think he needs to say that.
I don't think he does as well. And I feel for the man, but it's not like he's just turned up. This is, as Pete said, there's so much scrutiny on Potter here. Luke said in a previous pod, a manager can often be judged on the jobs they take. You can forgive him for Chelsea because it's a huge job and it's a big step up, and you think, okay, fine. But he takes that, a bit of a madhouse, a more experienced Mauricio Pochettino, didn't make it click there either. So, okay, you can forgive that. When he took the West Ham job, you're thinking, maybe I see that. Could that be such an ill-advised thing to do? Last season, you say it was a bit of a write-off, free hit. They're never going to get relegated because of what's going on. Now, pressure is piled on from day one. They've got no money to spend. So they may well sneak a couple of freebies or cheapos over the line.
Cheapos.
Yeah. But, this is such a test of Potter's managerial prowess now, because if they are to have any kind of season, it'll be all down to what they do on the training ground, and that's it. And it's such a difficult ship to sort of turn around, if you see what I mean. And also this defeat for West Ham, it gives Sunderland and Leeds haven't even played yet. We'll see what happens tonight. But even Burnley lost, and we'll come on to them in a bit. Suddenly it's like, there's one we can reel.
Yeah, that is the one, isn't it, at this moment in time?
Well, Wolves and Brentford, of course, are also in the conversation. Wolves, I think you can forgive them. It's Man City, and they look like they've got the bit between the teeth. Brentford,
It's more looking at West Ham's bench, isn't it? There's nobody coming on, really, to...
Yeah. But do you know what I mean, Vish? Already the pressure is piled on
Yeah.
to West Ham, and it's like flipping neck. Is it another season where it's like, is this a write-off? Or even worse, a relegation battle?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Early days, I know.
I don't know that last season was a free hit purely because of the amount of ill feeling that built up. And if it matters, then that's how you get that ill feeling.
Well, free hit in terms of they were never going to get relegated.
No, but he had to do something.
Right.
Bear in mind that the investment they'd made in players and the fact that West Ham fans clearly, and West Ham full stop, really wanted a style of play to get behind and at least show that they were building towards something. Given the success they had with Moyes and the reason they parted ways with Moyes as well was for
them to kick on a bit.
Yeah, exactly. We in their minds had reached a glass ceiling and they wanted to break through it, and Potter was the man to do that supposedly.
And just seeing Kudus
eventually,
seeing Kudus play so well in his debut as well.
Yeah. I mean that's kind of unavoidable. But then at the same time, look at that front three of Fulkrug, Bowen, and Paqueta. And obviously Bowen plays very well, but that's a lot of money behind behind those three players alone. In terms of this season, I'd be amazed if he sees it out. Partly because there would need to be such an about turn in, I suppose, performance and things like that. But when you talk about they need more time on the training ground, I mean, look at what Reggie Libris has done at Sunderland with exactly that, with new players. Yeah. And like, it is fundamentally down to coaching. You can talk about bad vibes, you can talk about poor recruitment in the past, but, just to, I suppose, not necessarily as a comparison, but to give Sunderland a bit more credit. As you said, 7 starters look like they played together really well. There were a lot of positive noises in pre-season about things going the right way. And in front of their own fans, you see that straight away. Yeah. I mean, that's the kind of performance that can springboard you onto something special. And to go back to West Ham, that was just so last season West Ham.
Totally. That's the worry, that it's just continued.
It feels like Potter's just like a sort of administrative sort of tactician rather than a manager who can sort of put rockets up players. You get the feeling that he knows how to set up aside, but everything else kind of like, let's go and fucking get them, boys.
But he
doesn't really have, I don't think.
Well, he does have like the emotional intelligence to be able to, I suppose, put his ethos across beyond setting it up on a tactics board and be like, you should be stood here with the ball, stood here without the ball. But you don't get that from any West Ham players. And I don't know, like, I feel like it's hard for me to say this as someone who's not a West Ham fan, who doesn't watch them week in, week out. But that feels like a previous iteration of like a gnarly West Ham where it's like, do you actually care about playing for West Ham?
Yeah, totally. It felt like last game of the season kind of vibes, didn't it? When they were safe and they had nothing to play for.
Yeah.
It was piss poor. There's no two ways about it, and he has to try and do something. I mean, compare that. So he's had a big old run up at this season, and again, it looks like more of the same. Compare that to say Manchester United and Spurs, who were the two other big sides down there. I know far bigger budgets, which has been proved.
Both teams spent a lot.
And that's been the difference.
And the pull as well. We've got
indeed. So it's harsh to compare West Ham to those two in one sense. But you can see how they've both kicked on already, how they're better. So really damning, but wonderful for Sunderland. I mean, what a return to the Premier League. Such a great victory. 3-0 as well. I mean, it's not a squirmy 1-0. Like, really enjoyed themselves. That would have been, for a lot of Sunderland fans, that may be one of the most enjoyable games they've ever been to in their lives. It's up there. And now there's a movement on X. We turn our attention to Elon Musk's X, where Twitter Mexico has agreed to support a random European team this season, so fans get excited to see Mexican supporting them. And the team they've chosen out of all of Europe is Sunderland.
The whole of Mexico?
Yeah. So this season, all Mexico is with Sunderland.
Yeah, they're all kind of getting behind him. It was actually quite charming to sort of see a lot of Sunderland fans going, why are there so many Mexicans? So many like Mexico flags and stuff in the replies to everything Sunderland. But yeah, the Mexicans are having like funny little sort of fights with each other as to sort of say like who's more Sunderland than each other. I've been Sunderland since I was born and stuff, which is absolutely lovely. I love to see it.
I like the way you described it as on X. Mexico Twitter.
Yes.
Yeah, like some kind of beautiful sugar-free, not sugar-free, no corn syrup, just sugar version of Twitter. Yeah.
Build a firewall and let America pay for it. Yeah.
Very good. Sunderland have also announced the signing of Nordi Mukiele from PSG.
Again, a lovely bit of business.
It's very rosy in the Sunderland garden. Also, quick mention for Ronaldo, became the first Mozambique international to play in the Premier League.
It's good,
lovely
man.
Stuff, yeah.
You love to see it.
What an opening weekend!
It's just stop the season now. It can't get any better than this. It simply can't. But like 140 million at last count. They're really going for this. I mean, they are going for it. The success stories in the kind of Championship to Premier League season. This is kind of how you do it. Yep. You got to put a lot of money behind it, and they're doing so. And they got 3 points on the table in the second in the league.
Yeah, but Pete, it is early days.
It is early days.
All right, coming up after this, a bum was seen at Anfield.
There you go.
I've got a little first question in the form of a new season power.
Okay, go on.
Arsenal are red, United are too. It's Sky's biggest Premier League season ever. We're excited. Are you?
I'm super excited.
Oh, fuck off.
Welcome back to the Football Ramble, everybody.
Lovely start to the show. Sunderland 3 points on the table, and we have to listen to that wank.
Gary Cottrell asking Mikel Arteta their question in the form of a rhyme and promoting his company's
Sponsorship
or
of the
broadcasting of the league.
On the one hand, no, sorry, I'm going to interrupt you.
Go on.
On the one hand, I think the way Sky Sports have operated on their football coverage over the last few years, where they have basically influencers talking on Sky Sports News. I don't mind like the episodic stuff, the programming and whatever, but mainly on Sky Sports News, getting influencers talk about football really fucks me off because it ruins good journalism and it certainly puts good journalists out of work. And then I see that and I think more of it, please. And that's not necessarily putting a good journalist out of work, but that is fucking abhorrent. That is.
Get Angry Gin John. Is that his name? Can't remember.
It is, yeah.
I think
Angry
one
Ginger.
of them's called
Have him do a poem.
Have him do
Don't
a
mind
poem.
that.
Yeah.
Thanks to friend of the Ramble, Tom, for sending
Yeah.
us that clip on Discord. Yeah, you can become a friend of the Ramble too.
Kick him off.
Is he on the Discord?
For
Can we
just-
charge him double next month?
I'm going to abuse him.
Yeah. Well, if you want to become a friend
You're
of the
not
Ramble
logging on
too,
there, are you?
it's just $5 a month. You'll get every episode of the Ramble up front and on the continent completely ad-free, and access to the Football Ramble Discord where you can chat with us and other Ramble listeners. And remember, if you sign up for an annual subscription before the end of August, you'll get 15% off. So search patreon.com/Football Ramble to get involved. Right then, Manchester United 0, Arsenal 1. Arsenal start the season with a 1-0 win at Old Trafford, but Vish, as the BBC caption suggested, Ruben Amorim improvement.
Yes.
Nice. Okay, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Manchester United were the better team. They were very encouraging.
It's been a while since you had a moral victory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Couldn't even get
100%.
Couldn't
yeah.
even have that in the Europa League final.
There were no morals on show at all last season.
No,
People have forgot about the fracking as well, which is always nice.
and the roof because the weather's been pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Thank God.
I can't wait for that.
Oh, I thought we fixed it. Oh, no.
It turns out, eventually, once you hit the £2 billion mark,
Yep.
you will see some improvement.
There
in
we
the
go.
game.
There we go.
If you're not willing to invest,
Yeah.
if you're not, sorry,
that
if you're not
point.
willing to keep investing, West Ham,
Exactly. Yeah.
you're gonna see an improvement.
Well, it's
3 points off top.
Yeah, and all those members of staff that were sacked by Manchester
points
United.
off
I just want to, you know what?
You sometimes
I tore into Manchester United for the redundancies last year because they were pathetic, really. And now I'm wondering, what were those dinner ladies on?
What were they doing?
Yeah.
What were they slipping into the food? Because this was an excellent performance.
Yeah. Slipping into the food on their £300,000 a week wages.
But Sir Jim knew, though, those who worked at the club and had a job there and liked working at the
too
club
comfy. and
worked hard.
They were sitting in the comfy chair,
Well,
weren't they?
they were, and quite clearly, and of course, they all want the club to succeed. Well, now they've seen. I mean, it was 0 points at the end of the day, but a better performance.
They lost.
They lost. Let's be
7
clear
wins
about
out
that.
of 28 for Ruben Amorim, but yeah, go on.
But they saw an improved performance. Do you think that those hundreds and hundreds of members of staff that were cruelly sacked, do you think now they'll go, I see what the benevolent Sir Jim Ratcliffe is doing now? You see, it makes it all worthwhile to only lose one.
Labour
Yeah.
this point because you want Vish to say yes, it seems.
Well,
Yeah.
'cause
Spent
I-
5 minutes on this.
Because I think they'd have been at home, having been let go. They might have some memorabilia that they've previously been gifted to them. They're thinking about auctioning it just
Yeah.
for a bit of money, just to pay rent.
Yeah.
To
they
just
send-
stay afloat as a family. Feed their family and whatever. And then they see Cunha breaking from deep, and they're hold on.
Hold
Yep.
on.
Yeah.
This
You
is
know
not
what?
the
I've done
Man
what
United way.
I've played my part here. Yeah.
But it was mainly down to Arsenal's really rather poor start and Saliba looking like he wasn't a footballer for about 20 minutes. That made Manchester United look a lot better. But they were really, really good. They had so many more chances and shots and stuff, but Arsenal still came away with the points.
Well, David Raya was given man of the match, which shows you, and that is one in the eye for you, Peter, because you've been very critical of him.
I just don't think he's at Arsenal's level.
Great save from Cunha.
It
That
was
one
great.
with
It
the
was an amazing
fingertips.
save. It was amazing.
I don't even want to get into that.
Yeah,
Don't even wanna-
you've angered Jim, and now you're angering Vish. But yeah, I mean, Manchester United, they recorded 20 plus shots in a single Premier League game against Arsenal for the first time since that 8-2 win in August 2011. So it does show you that they need to be a little more accurate, because you keep doing that, you might score 8 goals soon enough.
Another 14 years, you might be
Yeah.
there.
Well, purely on the football side of it, they're a lot more energetic. I thought they all looked a bit leaner, even Bruno.
Yeah, to me, it was night and day from last season.
The energy on the field, the amount of running, and Mbumo.
Because they're not getting fed because the ladies have gone off.
Well, exactly, yeah. They're feeding too much. Mbumo and Cunha, I don't really think that... I didn't necessarily think they would be compatible when we signed... When Manchester United signed them, but I was like, they'll work it out in the way. And I love the way there was a point, maybe midway through the first half, where the ball gets played long to Mbumo and he touches it off to Cunha. And there was that understanding that just very good players have.
Yes,
Like, they almost on the field worked out like, you're good at doing this, I'm good at doing this. Yeah. Let's stand a little bit closer. As simple as that.
Yes.
And...
Because the wing backs give the width.
Yeah, exactly. I thought Dorgu was excellent.
And Darlow.
He's only turning 21 at the end of October. But ultimately, it was interesting also seeing the gaps that are still to be made up. Because there were points in the first half where Manchester United would get an overlap, often on the right with Dalot, and there'd be no one in the box. And then in the second half, genuinely, there was a point where there's too many people in the box. Like, you have to get out of each other's way.
The box had reached critical mass.
Do you think as the game went on, though, they grew in belief? I mean, they weren't lacking in belief.
I think they were given space. Obviously, Arsenal...
They were surprised that Arsenal would just seem content.
The Arsenal subs killed any attacking impetus from them as well, I think.
But I also, Miles Lewis-Skelly got caught out once, maybe twice. I thought Timber was excellent when he came on. And actually, I thought Saliba and Gabriel... That's what you...
Yes.
I know Arsenal need to find a different way of winning games, but when they win games like that, I thought Manchester United were more energetic. I thought Manchester United had more thrust.
They're more creative.
More creative. And Arsenal were just smarter and better. And Arsenal have been smarter and better than a lot of teams over the last 2 years. And I don't think I wouldn't necessarily define Arsenal season on what they produce on the weekend, but they do need more than that if they're going to win the title.
I agree with you there. Pete, were you surprised that Arsenal was so sort of defensive and happy? Because the goal was fortuitous. The goalkeeper should do a bit better. I know Joe Hart did a nice breakdown of it on Match of the Day.
With his excellent posture.
You're wonderful.
Yeah, God, yeah.
He's an Adonis, isn't he? But, so they score fairly early on. And then, again, other than the odd mistake towards the end, they didn't really look like scoring again. It's the type of performance that, for those who go and... I know it's at Old Trafford and Manchester United are a rejuvenated side, but I just wouldn't see that type of performance from Liverpool, Man City, those who are looking to challenge. So would you be concerned and think, okay, Arsenal, we do need to see you flex a little bit more, which I'm sure we will. Again, it's early days. But
I think, obviously, looking at a player like Gyökeres, obviously a supremely talented footballer, I think he had some really good moments in the match, but looking at Martinelli, Saka and Gyökeres as a unit, comparing them to what Manchester United had, it was really stark because I just think they didn't really have A, much service, B, they looked a bit listless, they looked a bit lost. It looked like a real sort of first match of the season, kind of just kind of walking up from a bit of a slumber kind of vibe.
Yeah, just get it done, sort of.
Just get it done. But I mean, they did, and like you say, I kind of disagree. I don't think Manchester United are quite there yet, but if they can sort of put this sort of performance in for the next 3 or 4 matches, they may look like a completely different, consideration when teams are travelling to Old Trafford.
Well, another day. I mean, they've played against what is the best defence in the league. And they
not scored.
I've not scored, but have come away thinking, how have we not scored? Maybe, as Pete says, play like that against the vast majority of teams in the league, they will win far more than they're going to draw or even lose.
Yeah, and I think like previously, Manchester United have always raised it for big teams.
Yes,
I think the difference here was the amount of running they did. Just how they pressed, not necessarily how they fought, but how they pressed. There was a bit more thought to the running around, to the kind of physicality of what they were doing.
You can see Amorim's messages finally getting through.
I thought De Ligt, that's probably one of his better performances. I've never seen him look so nimble in a Manchester United shirt. I thought that was really interesting.
Even Luke Shaw.
I haven't seen...
Even fucking Casemiro, thank you.
Yeah.
He was great. He was pinging passes all over.
I was speaking to someone at the game as a journalist, and he said that he's not seen Luke Shaw look as lithe. Yeah.
Right, okay.
I thought the other...
He looked at, sorry to interrupt, but at the end of the Europa League final, when Shaw, it's a final, so Shaw...
of course.
It's a bit harsh on the player, but, jokes aside, I mean, he genuinely was devastated.
Yeah.
Like, so down about losing that game and realised, and I know he's been plagued with injuries, So the determination that you see in him and the other players, and it does help that Cunha and Mbeumo, you've got players up top to relieve Bruno Fernandes from having to do everything. I just think it all bodes very, very well.
Yeah, and just to pick up Pete's point about Arsenal's front three, I thought Saka was weirdly... I felt like he was playing within himself. I don't know if he had an injury, but I wondered if it was actually more tactical because of what they expected from Manchester United.
They just thought, we've scored early. If we keep this tight,
Yeah.
we'll get this done without a fuss. But it just seems a bit odd to kind of...
Yeah,
I know we saw bits of that last season. I again, early days, blah, blah, blah. But I just wanted to see a bit more from Arsenal.
Yeah,
Especially as I've tipped them for the title.
I wanted to see more from Saka. I think Martinelli, that's what you get from Martinelli.
Mm-hmm.
I quite like him, but I always feel like sometimes there's an element of him, he loves running at players, but he's better running at players without the ball.
Yeah.
And I feel like in his head, he has this idea of what he's trying to do, but you can almost see the cogs turning.
Yeah.
Nothing seems natural to him when it comes to being a player. And I don't know how Arsenal upgrade that at this juncture, beyond, I suppose, Madueke starting a bit more, or even just a bit more rotation of flanks from him and Saka. Now, I'm not saying that you probably end up losing something from Saka if you're trying to, give something to Martinelli.
Even for 5 minutes or something.
Yeah, but I thought they were both a bit off it. And it was easy to then point the finger at Gyökeres and be like, oh, you might be the problem here because they're now working with a different forward.
Yes,
But yeah, I thought that they should have given a bit more, actually.
Well, I mean, I think with Arsenal, they never, seldom do any team go to Old Trafford and really thump Manchester United, even with last season in mind. But Arsenal, it's always been a funny ground for Arsenal to go to. And maybe there's that in the background.
Maybe it's the fact
that
that one of their players, their captain, turned up for on the Arsenal social media. Basically, he was wearing jeans.
Well, maybe they all felt that they
were all wearing
jeans and
really.
playing. Yeah, it could have been that.
To be fair, Manuel Ugarte, when he came on, he looked like he was wearing jeans, but both his legs in one sleeve, like a sleeping bag.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe that's it. Maybe Casemiro thought, I should stop wearing the jeans when I play.
I'm going to take
Can
off
you
the
hold
jeans.
these for any?
I'll take off the Timberland boots at least.
Stop having to go my Timberland boots.
Well, look, Ruben Amorim said the performance deserved a different result, but when asked about the performance, he said the most important thing is we weren't boring.
Yeah. That's kind of what Freddie Mercury said, didn't he? Before he died.
It's funny.
You do whatever you want with my legacy, but just don't make me boring. They made him boring.
Yeah.
I feel like all fans, other than Manchester United fans, weren't bored by how badly Manchester United were doing in the league last season.
No, yeah.
Certainly, it didn't seem on this show that you were getting bored of talking about how bad Manchester United were in the league.
Right.
So do remember us in all this.
I mean, the biggest achievement of Man United in this match was that the new Black Ops, Call of Duty Black Ops Season 5 came out last week, and Luke Shaw's playing fine, so...
Wow, maybe
I
Amorim went round and just smashed his, and that's what it's done.
PS5.
The spell is broken. Well, look, Arsenal, they certainly hope to be in the mix for the title.
Take your jeans off, lads. Come on.
Absolutely. But Liverpool are still the champions.
Yeah.
After round one is nearly complete of the Premier League, it's still mathematically possible for everyone to win the title. But on Friday night, Liverpool played Bournemouth 4-2. A great game. It really was. What a start to the Premier League season. Hugely emotional, of course. But we were treated to Liverpool's new signing, Hugo Ekitike, scoring the first Premier League goal of the season. Slightly fortuitous with the bounce, Vish. There was talk about how good him and Wirtz were at moments in the Community Shield. But the way he takes that ball in his stride,
the way he recovers it
with aplomb, I just thought, oh, yeah, he looks very tasty.
You're talking about players with instinct. Good God.
Yeah. Jamie Carragher likened the deflection on that to something that Suarez would do. And I was like, that's a great shout, because Suarez would, obviously incredibly skillful, but would often be able to just like bounce the ball off people's knees and stuff like that and get through. But I thought there was a bit of like early Liverpool Torres about how he was playing.
I felt that as well.
Because partly, and also partly because of his stature as well.
And
he's
also,
got like...
Yeah, you're seeing things you kind of want to see as well. But I do get what you're saying.
Because Torres would come as deep as he would, and then almost immediately have that like five-a-side instinct of giving it and immediately running forward. And yeah, just like his stride, and he's such a big guy, but you feel like he wouldn't leave footprints in the snow.
El Grande Torres.
Yeah, not Torres now.
No.
That man is punching holes in the snow. But yeah, so that's why I thought that comparison. But also, I feel like the way that game pans out, Anfield under lights, with the emotional attachment of it all, you wouldn't want your team to win like that every week. But if you want, if you're having an emotional, what you know is going to be an emotional evening, and an outpouring of as much grief as there is joy at the way the game pans out, I mean, that was perfect, really.
Yeah,
it was.
Really well indeed.
And
Salah's like crying at the end was a moment as well.
Yeah, and I thought that was quite an important moment because this grief doesn't just go away. Like grieving is not linear, as many people have rightly said.
In a football context, you're like, oh, we're playing football again, so it's it's all forgotten. It's like,
and there will be constant reminders of this person that they've lost, and it comes from just playing in that team, doesn't it? Like it never goes away.
Yes.
You wonder how draining this season is going to be, full stop, because of it. But actually, there are so many different ways of talking about this, but the acceptance of it is probably the most normal way that any of us would deal with that kind of grief. And it was obviously quite striking seeing him being as emotional as that. But yeah, it was just a remarkable sight, full stop.
Yeah, and I think you would have had to have quite a hard heart or be a Bournemouth fan to deny, to not want those scenes at the end matched with the celebration. Salah gets his goal, and as you say, it was because I'm sure they. How do you respond to that kind of thing? I mean, even Molineux as well, the player that they knew. You saw high emotions, and rightly said, it doesn't go away. You can't just sort of go, right, let's concentrate on the football. Yeah. He's not signed to a different league. He's no longer with us, and it's really, really poignant, and it will be there for a bit to come. But It was a very poignant moment at Anfield as well.
And now we talk about the shit bit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So we have to, but in a weird way, I please hear this in the way it's meant to be. Antoine Semenyo being the victim of racist abuse. Actually, even that going on his social media post, a positive came from it. Obviously, the act is horrible, and he reported the abuse to the referee. A man has already been arrested in connection with the incident. But going on what Semenyo himself, the guy who was abused, he said, "Last night at Anfield will stay with me forever," writing on Instagram, not because of one person's words, but because of how the entire football family stood together. To my Bournemouth teammates who supported me in that moment, to the Liverpool players and fans who showed their true character, to the Premier League officials who handled it professionally, thank you. Football showed its best side when it mattered the most. So that's something positive, if you see what I mean, or not something positive, but the reaction and the response.
I think
was positive.
I think the way he took it on was, in obviously no player should ever have to do with that, but he took it on head on. His statement was absolutely spotless, and what broad shoulders. Nobody wants to be the centre of attention.
No,
when it's something like that, it's just it's just needless. And I thought he coped with it and dealt with it, and he was like, the hero of the weekend, really. And I don't know, like he was incredible the way he dealt with that and fucking put 2 goals past Liverpool.
And the second one,
fucking brilliant.
Him and Richarlison, goal of the month contenders already.
Right.
I did find that interesting because that's what we want to focus on, and that's what Semenyo wants to focus on: his footballing ability. When he ran through, he played, you saw him, and I just thought, oh yeah. I thought some teams were going to make more of a push for this guy. And that was the thing with Bournemouth. People were quite down on them, saying, they've lost some key defenders. I said, but they've kept Semenyo, they've kept Cliver, there was 1 or 2 others, and they've kept the manager. So I'm not worried about them at all.
No. There was a point in the first half where I was worried about them, definitely. But, I mean, he's such an exceptional player. You made a point during the game on WhatsApp about how two-footed he is.
Lovely two-footed player.
There were loads of training videos of Semenyo because he's come through the ranks, as in like through the pyramid, really.
Yeah.
And there were loads of like training videos of him like randomly like on bits of AstroTurf in the park. And I know he's right-footed, and sometimes you're like, should you be able to whip the ball into the top corner with your left foot like that? Like,
well, his second goal was with the left.
Yeah.
The way it's so hard to defend against when he's running at the defenders and he can go either way.
Also, he goes downhill at one point. There's a point where he breaks into the Liverpool half where you're like, I didn't realise this was sloped that way.
Yeah.
I don't know where Van Dijk's going. Konate is in a spin. But yeah, he's so good. I think a lot of people called on him because teams became wary of him and he wasn't getting as much joy.
Right.
But he fucking works so hard.
I was going to say, yeah.
He's constantly at it. And like, the one of the frustrations we've aired on the show is when a winger has the beating of a defender and they stop taking him on. And it's one of the laments of like modern football that you don't see wingers take them on. And it's like, actually you do. You just have to look below the Man Cities and Arsenals of this world and see it happening constantly. And Semenyo leads the front on that. He's always going at defenders on both sides, as you say, because he's so good on both feet.
But due to those 2 late Liverpool goals, he didn't have the final say at Anfield.
No,
and it was lovely for Federico Chiesa to come on and score at Anfield. He didn't play that much.
It was a lovely hit in the only place it could have gone.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It was slightly caressed, I might say.
Yeah, stroked.
Stroked is the word.
Cantona FA Cup?
Yes. Cantos was further behind him, wasn't it?
Yeah, Cantos was like edge of the box.
It was, but he was kind of like leaning away.
Further behind him as a body himself.
Yeah, it was like
his
sort of
French
hip
body.
Yeah.
It's behind his French body.
He had a packet of cigs in his pocket, didn't he? So he had to really...
He did.
Yeah.
And we saw a bottom in the celebrations. A Liverpool fan had his shorts pulled down whilst celebrating Chiesa's goal.
Yeah, I mean, like...
Childish, but...
I don't know. I
amusing.
just don't think you should be wearing
Don't
those
say
kind
like
of
that on
shorts.
this show. It's childish but amusing, is it?
Yeah, no, I'm just checking. Is that, or is he committed a crime? If you debag someone, is that?
Oh yeah, right.
No, I don't know. No, I just think that nobody should. I don't think you're generally pulling anyone's pants down that you don't know personally.
You'd hope so.
Yeah.
You'd hope so. And that's what we're going with. There's so much fucking crime going on in the stands in this fucking match. But the shots.
Imagine it in the holding cell with the guy,
man and the racist.
The racist abuser.
What are you in for?
Yeah.
It's like a Julia Donaldson book.
God, you probably had a word as well, did you? No, my mate pulled my shorts down.
You're a scumbag.
Yeah,
Scumbag. I just wanted to see a man's bum.
I was just celebrating. I got unlucky. I've got a dick as a mate, and you are just a dick. Oh dear.
I would say that you shouldn't be wearing those kind of shorts at a football match, like footballers' shorts. Like those kind of sort of. They're just not. They're not clothing. They're sportswear. They're loungewear. They're.
If he feels relaxed, they're the champions.
Taking your bins out wear.
I would agree purely because you can get dekecked.
Yeah, you can dekecked. Anyone's a potential dekecking.
He's got a time up.
Even if you're tying them up, you're getting dekecked.
Something for us all to consider.
Got a bum like me, that guy. Very disappointing.
I realised I should have mentioned Chiesa with the good feeling thing at the start, because he was someone who basically just randomly turned into a cult hero last season.
Yeah.
Didn't really play that much. Obviously scores in the League Cup, but that was his first Premier League goal for Liverpool.
Yeah.
And also,
really? Wow.
Yeah, but also like,
moment.
I don't know, do you remember during the celebrations at Anfield when they were lifting the trophy?
Yes.
Where they were really encouraging him to lift it because they've got this song for him that Liverpool fans love. And it was the one takeaway, beyond like Trent Alexander-Arnold breaking down and being quite upset about leaving. People were constantly singing that song in Liverpool city centre, the Chiesa song. And obviously they go nuts when he scores. And I didn't think he'd be there this season, you know. I thought maybe this was like, he would part ways and that would be his nice moment. Then to have that in front of the Kop as well.
He's Slot's man.
Yeah.
He's the only one he signed.
But he is their vibesman.
Yeah.
And he comes up trumps first game of the season.
So that man's Slot.
Lovely.
Pants getting down.
Oh, blimey.
We saw a Slot was seen,
Yeah, Slot was seen.
True enough, yeah. The two teams that will be involved in the title race, you'd imagine, off to a winning start in the Premier League. So are Man City.
Yeah.
Title contenders, apparently 4-0 at Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Me and Vish are the Man City for the title boys. So
Yeah.
They looked amazing.
They did look amazing.
What about Tierney
It was
Reinders?
pathetic. 50 million, how?
Absolutely.
How are they getting good value? I'm
Yeah.
not having it.
They have all the money. What are you doing?
I know.
Extort them. Not sweet old Ineos.
Haaland looks angry. Oscar
He's an Augustman.
Oscar Bob looks great. Yeah. Well, look, we could talk a lot about Man City, and we're going to in tomorrow's mailbag. So, Man City fans, if you think, come on, what about that performance from Reinders alone? We're going to talk about that in the mailbag tomorrow. So, keep your powder dry, people.
Yeah.
Because we've been asked questions about them. Right, coming up after this, we find out who would win in a fight between Tom Brady and Wayne Rooney. Welcome back to the Football Ramble, everybody. Tottenham Hotspur 3, Burnley 0. Richarlison. Richarlison. Come on.
I was watching this match and the first Richarlison goal I saw, then I went out.
And that was a lovely one.
It was a lovely one. And then went out and I saw on the BBC site that he scored a bicycle kick. And I was going, that's not a fucking bicycle kick. And it was a fucking bicycle kick.
That's not a bicycle
Not
kick.
a bicycle kick. It was like he was refining his form every
A little
goal.
bit, yeah. He was pissed off to be subbed off.
I know,
He
yeah,
was
right.
like, I'm on a hat trick, boss. I'm happy
of
to take
bicycle
pens.
kicks.
Like you,
Do you know how many goals I've had disallowed? You won't let me get a hat trick.
he was fuming. Like Frank had to properly arm round it. Don't worry, there'll be other times. He's like, but will there? Solanke might start.
Well, that's
hitting
the
form.
thing, though, isn't it? He's kind of like, if you can get Richarlison's head right, good God, like this is what he can do to you.
Yeah, you. I mean, what
Do for you, rather.
Well, indeed. I mean, sometimes played out wide by Spurs. They signed him for a lot of money for good reason. You can forget, like he on his day, he can be a good option going forward. And I know Solanke's a good option as well. But Richarlison loves a volley. Remember the volley in the World Cup in 2022?
That's what it reminded me of. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And also that performance reminded me of Brazilian Richarlison.
Yes.
Because I feel like sometimes, especially when he's out wide and when he has a strop, I'm like, are you cosplaying as a Brazilian here? Is this like you're playing as this is the idea of a Brazilian winger, but you just don't have the wares to do it.
Yeah.
And then, like, we've also got here that he scored 13 goals in his last 16 Premier League starts. What?
Yeah.
Where's that come
I
from?
know. I was tempted not to read that out because I thought someone would go, "You idiot!"
You damn fool.
I know, but I mean, what a start to the season for him. And Mohamed Kudus as well. That little touch. Little touch. He said, didn't he, in the post match that he does like to entertain the fans a little bit and all that. And I thought,
Is that a bit of a dig?
well,
Well,
I mean,
because that's at West Ham when he started, it was like,
yeah.
oh, we've got one.
Yeah.
Well, indeed, in the first season at West Ham, you remember him running through and powering through and scoring goals and doing that celebration where he sometimes sit down and all that. So it's in there. We know he's a player. But at Tottenham already, he looks like he's got the bit between his teeth. He looks powerful as well. And again, I think all the Spurs players do since Frank's been there. So much more robust looking and whatnot. But look, 3-0. I know Burnley are the whipping boys this season. That's what a lot of people have got them down for. So ultimately, it's a good start to the season for Spurs. But they do look still a bit suspect at the back. Burnley should have scored.
That's the legacy, isn't it?
I mean, particularly towards the end of that first half, you're thinking, how are Burnley not equalised here? So a bit of work for Spurs and Frank to do.
Yeah, I mean, Burnley need to take their chances when they've got them because they're not going to get many this season.
Well, there's a couple of times. I know it's easy to say when you're sitting on the couch at home, but like if you get a chance to shoot, you've got to bang it. And for Burnley, for me, I think that there are positives to take from this game. I know you lose 3-0. And look, we knew Spurs were going to be different under Frank this season. But I still think, Vish, that looking at that performance from Burnley, they were a little bit more creative and a little bit more attacking than people may have thought they would be. I know defence was their thing last season, and to ship 3 goals is a bit disappointing. But I didn't think it was all doom and gloom for them, though. I'm trying desperately to try and find positive.
But the only thing
Am I being too lenient, do you think?
No, I just think you're offering the necessary caveats after the first game of the season. You wonder if, because of how distorted the league has become, if it really just is about beating the teams around you, which in that case is fine. If you think the league's going to pan out that way and Burnley are going to be consistent in the way they play, based on the Spurs game, but also last season, then fine, that might work. But yeah, I mean, even just taking shots, even just like, I suppose like starting with more than 2 attacking players. I mean, they started with 5 at the back on the weekend.
Yes.
Which is fine away to Spurs, but you wonder what else Parker has up his sleeve for teams that they are more on an even keel with.
Well, we will see.
Yeah.
And we'll see very, very soon, of course. Martin Dubravka in goal became the first goalkeeper to be penalised for holding the ball too long.
Newcastle away.
Is that right?
No, that's what I always try to do back in like last season. Certainly the season before that, we were sort of spending a lot of time wasting. So
Wasting, yeah.
I'm so glad that law's in place. do you know the ludicrousness of that law?
Yeah.
The fact that it was penalised there And Gyökeres, during the Manchester United-Arsenal game, was penalised for not trying to stop the keeper, but just kind of being in his way, essentially.
Yeah.
We see that all the time.
Yeah.
And he was being penalised for that. And the referee's justification, the referee had this conversation with him. And I think one of the pundits understandably justified it, or justified the referee's penalising of him by saying, well, if there's already an 8-second rule, then the referee technically is already, putting pressure on the goalkeeper. The game is already putting pressure on the goalkeeper. So Gyökeres doesn't need to do that. Gyökeres obviously didn't know that. And then it turns out the 8-second thing isn't hard and fast. It's not on a timer.
Right.
It is the interpretation of 8 seconds.
I mean, you can't have the interpretation of a finite number, can
Yeah.
you? Really, like that's mad.
So it technically starts when he has the ball, but also it's just kind of it's still up to the referee's discretion
To
what
start
he
it
deems
when
to be
he feels like
holding onto the
a
ball.
striker isn't, close enough.
Yeah.
for it. It's just
I think it's don't take the piss.
yeah.
It's really that rule, isn't it?
Then don't say 8 seconds then.
Yeah. Well,
Just say
you
it's
got
a-
to have
just-
number.
There should
Yeah,
be.
well then time it then.
No, I think you. I
It's
think
either a
you-
number or it's not. Why have
Well-
we even got seconds then?
I mean, there were some decisions. I think from the opening weekend thus far,
Yeah.
I think we can deduce that they are being less. VAR is intervening less. I mean, we didn't actually mention
Did you
it.
hear the Saliba Cunha excuse when Cunha's got his back to Saliba, 6-yard ball, gets a ball played in, Saliba goes to take the ball in front of him, gets his foot, and Mike Dean on Sky said, it's fine, it's just foot-on-foot contact.
It's foot on foot contact.
And I was like,
all
what?
it is.
Why? Suddenly there's like,
Is that not a foul?
but it's
Yeah.
almost like this is a season where they're like, right, the load of Victorian bylaws that no one knows about. Someone in a month's time is just going to pick up the ball and leg it and be like, well, actually,
Yeah.
this used to be fine.
It's just fist on jaw
Run their,
contact.
run,
That's
run
all it
their
is.
sheep across a bridge.
Yeah, I mean,
shoot a Welshman on
Shoot a
Tower Bridge.
Welshman.
Look, it's just steel on Welsh contact. That is allowed.
Harry Wilson's running down the wing. You do know After Dark in Newcastle in your scene. I mean, there was so we didn't even mention the handball that wasn't given at Anfield when the Bournemouth defender
Oh my
wafts
God,
his hand.
yeah.
I looked at that and I thought, he's off for that. What a
Sorry,
shame.
I said a month ago, in a month's time, they'll pick up the ball and run. That's what he tried to do.
I think we're so pleased that football's back, we've kind of ignored the fact that
Well,
it was a pretty mad refereeing weekend.
Well, it was.
wasn't it?
So they're being more lenient, clearly, because and this shows you, football fans, listen here. It's not an exact science. So when we all moan, that's too harsh. What are you overturning that? Okay, we'll be more lenient. Well, come on, you got to give that. Look, we're all in it.
We're all in it. We're all culpable.
This is it. You can count
Yeah.
your 8 seconds, but you can't suddenly say we want it to be more lenient. Oh, it wasn't. This is the problem with it.
You cannot. You also cannot swipe your hand at the ball.
So that should have been a sending off for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought, again, we haven't talked about is when Josh King was quite clearly fouled for Fulham when he kicked the ball and it could have sort of followed through. And I didn't think the defender even got the ball. I couldn't believe Fulham never got a penalty for that. And there was one or two others as well. It's going to give us lots of talking points.
It
then.
is. What's good for the game
Mate,
isn't good for the ramble.
No,
the
other
reverse
way,
is
other
true.
way around. Yeah. So there were. I want to end the show with some with some nice Brits abroad, chaps.
Right, okay.
If we may.
Yeah.
Harry Kane won another cup. The
He
German
did, yes.
Super Cup
cannot
is
be
his.
stopped.
Yeah.
It was on the
Apart from
telly.
next summer, he cannot be stopped.
Don't use them all up now, Harry.
I was watching this match while doing some soldering. Very enjoyable.
Really?
Trying to fix a baby monitor.
I feel like you'd be doing one or the
the
other.
patient died.
Dealing with something that's melting metal.
Were you trying to engrave Harry Kane?
Yes.
Bayern Munich.
In the solder on my arm.
2025 Super
Yeah.
Cup winners. He's won a final.
He has, yeah.
And scored in them. in
Andy
one.
Brassel was chatting to him after the game.
Andy Brassel did have a little chat to him after.
Oh, do
the
you
game.
remember him?
Yeah, he leaves us and now he's knocking boots with England's finest.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
He's not shagging Harry Kane.
He might be.
Well, at the time of recording,
Harry Kane wins again.
Yeah. Marcus Rashford made his debut for Barcelona at the weekend.
They managed to register him.
Way! I can't believe it.
Admin.
When he said, "Yeah, I want to go and play for Barcelona," I thought, "Yeah, so do I, mate." But look,
It happens.
So did Danny Olmo for a bit.
so did a lot of people for a bit. It's good to see a Marcus finally, an English Marcus
Right,
at Barcelona.
okay, yeah.
I never made it; he did. So well done once again to him. First Englishman since Gary Lineker to play for Barcelona. If you look at the Englishmen that have played for Barcelona, It's thin gruel. You have to go back like the 20s before Lineker. It's funny because Real Madrid, much more open and friendly to us.
Yeah.
I know you're angry about your Airbnbs and your tourists and all that, Barcelona, but clearly you've got a problem with us.
Yeah.
So let's hope Marcus Rashford can build bridges.
And we'll say this now on the pod.
Yep.
I'm tempted to say it down the barrel, but I don't want to be held culpable for it. If
you'll
you
still say
spray
it.
water at Marcus Rashford, we will come for you.
You spray water at all of us.
We'll come for your little potatoes and your little servings. And we'll be there. I was going to say at the dead of night. We can come during the afternoon when they're all asleep.
If you're going to throw your plates and bowls at us, we've got much bigger plates and bowls, haven't we?
Oh, God, yeah.
We'll overpower that.
Have you seen the state of our buffets? We will have you.
Yeah. It will be a Toby Carvery against your little tapas.
Tapas versus
No
Carvery.
chance.
I'm
No
not at 2
chance.
p.m. I'm having a nap. But fucking wake up then. We're here.
The truth about Catalans
Any
and,
water
and
gets
English
on
dogs.
that. Any water gets on our brave English boy's head.
Damn right. We're coming for you.
Take you out.
And in Italy, the best player in Serie A, Scott McTominay, he missed a chance for Napoli. Was it the weekend or the previous weekend?
Previous
weekend, yeah. But this has come to light to us. And he was caught saying "Mamma Mia" when he headed the ball over.
Just love to see it.
I love that because you remember when Jude Bellingham went "Vamos" or something?
Was it Bellingham keeps saying Vamos, and all the England players take the piss out of him for it?
Because he did it. Was it in the friendly against Scotland at Hampton? It was like, what are you doing? I get it, like the new Campbell.
How do you say Mamma Mia in a Scottish accent?
I don't know. Well, he
Mamma
doesn't.
mia.
I mean, it was more of a Mancunian accent with McTominay.
I suppose. Oh, fuck, of course, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure he can do both. He's bilingual by now. Now, before we go and leave you to get on with the rest of your day, on Friday we discussed who would win in a fight between Wayne Rooney and Tom Brady. We all thought Rooney would do him, but Drexel on X asked X's AI Grok who would win in the fight, and Grok said Tom Brady would win.
The way to be Grok being involved in some American propaganda.
Don't ask Grok. Don't encourage him.
Yeah. Well, who's your AI supplier?
I'm a ChatGPT man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, get it up then.
Well, not really. You got to pay for it, so I'm not doing that.
Oh right. Okay.
I'll stick to Google.
You're technically the Ramble AI, aren't you?
I thought,
Exactly. Yeah.
Well,
I
and
don't
you're
your
saying
point.
Wayne Rooney?
I'm still saying Wayne Rooney. He's just got more pep. Like Tom Brady wouldn't care. He's
Tom
absolutely minted.
Brady would care. He would absolutely care about winning.
He's much bigger. He's got much bigger reach. But it would feel like at the weekend in Mexico, 7'4" Omos, the wrestler, fought 2 foot Microman.
Yes, I saw Microman, or Microman as we were calling in Mexico City once when I went to watch the wrestling. And he was wrestling with other people with dwarfism. And even then he looked tiny.
Yeah, he's astonishing.
Hence his name.
He's the son of Kiminito, the other wrestler who got kicked off a wrestling ring. But it doesn't matter. This isn't a wrestling
I don't know that
You'll
one.
know the clip.
You'll know what he's saying.
Oh, okay.
He's a man dressed
facing
as
away.
I
he's
do
a
know
man. He's a man dressed as a green gorilla.
I do know the clip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
dear.
dear.
If you find yourself in Mexico City, go and see it. Don't be
see
snobby.
Microman.
It's genuinely wonderful
Very
entertainment.
Honestly,
And
what,
don't use Grok. Go and see Mexican wrestling.
Yeah,
what
absolutely.
we like as a civilization.